Hello again. Well, today I can finally show you the finished room boxes. There's four room boxes that I've built over the past year, or more than a year actually. And they're finished, and I've put some items in here. First of all, I have to tell you that these are not the pieces that will go in here. I've just put my own pieces in here for now, just to show you what it could look like when it's decorated. So these are just from my canal houses, and the final pieces that will go in here are not mine. It's a collection of antique silver miniatures that will go in here. So for now, I just put my own pieces in there. So I've put a carpet, and of course, like I said, these are not meant for these rooms. So some pieces may look a little bit odd in here, but still I like it. I like the way that it looks dressed. So there's the ceiling pieces. You can't see it very well. It's a little bit dark. And another thing I'd like to show you, I put a dimmer on here so I can turn the light on brighter or a little bit lower. So this is more like a daylight situation, I suppose. Or a little bit brighter. And I really like that. And it has a remote, like I showed you. So yeah, that's very nice. But so I made the fireplace. Well, I made everything basically. But the wall hangings are fabric. And these are 18th century paintings that I put together and made so that they fit the room. The floor is oak, and here's the double doors, sliding doors, and they reveal a cabinet for displaying pieces. And again, these are my own pieces. I thought they looked very nice. The vases, the obelisks, and the tulip vases, the Sultan tulip vases, they're by that one as well, and that one over there, they're by Henny Staring. And the silver is by Jens Torp. And that vase is by Kokkie Wildschut. So here's another vase by Henny Staring, tulip vase. But like I said, these are my own pieces, but they kind of, if it's a modern house, a canal house on nowadays, that could well be in there. My sofa, some of my lovely pieces. Love that. So yeah, very pleased, and I absolutely love love the I must say I do like that, the display of those pieces. And I love the way I can dim the lights. So the light, so behind here you can't see it, but there's LED lights behind there, just so that it's an even glow. And then to the left here, go through that door, there is we call it the smoking room. I guess you could call it a gentleman's room or a study. I don't know. I've sort of made a study out of it. Again, just some pieces that I have. And most of the silver is by Jens Torp. I made one piece that's in the cabinet. And this piece here is by Mike Sparrow. The chairs are by John Hodgson. And I think that chair is by, name escapes me at the moment. The table is by Mark Gooch. And let's see, what else? Well, I made the rest, basically. The carpet, I've had that printed as well. It's a very soft, it's like almost like a velvet. It has a, what is that called? Yeah, you can feel that it's a carpet. So it's very soft. And of course, the cabinet that I made is in the back. I absolutely love my cabinet. I'm so proud of that. But I like it in here. Yeah, it's almost a shame that I'm giving that up, but so much work. But yeah, again, the ceiling has the painting in there or on there, which is hard to see because of the lighting, but it does. If you look at it with your own eyes, you can see it really well. With the camera, it's harder to pick up. But yeah, when it's decorated, and again, this room will have 18th century silver in it. But I do think it gives a good impression of what it could look like when it's decorated. Really like this room as well. And what I also like is that it's quite small. Gives a bit of an intimate feeling. So yeah, very pleased with that as well. You know, and it's fun to see pieces that you've had in your collection in a different setting. It looks completely different. So, but anyway, yeah. Again, another room. I'm quite pleased with it. The wall paneling is, I was going to say nutmeg, walnut, walnut, like the cabinet. The cabinet is also entirely made of walnut. So, yeah. 2 rooms next to each other. Different feel, but the colors are similar. So, yeah, very pleased with these rooms. I do really like them. Now, we go down to the kitchens. Here's the kitchen. And this is the nice kitchen. There's not a lot of cooking done in here. Usually it's just kept for dining and for display. So it's basically a luxury to have something like this in your house. This room was based on the Dolls'house at the Rijksmuseum, and it has a very similar cabinets in the back, and it's very similar. And the one in the Rijksmuseum has decoration all over the cabinets, and I did just a fraction of that. I painted the panels on the lower cabinets. So those are hand painted with oil paints. And I have my tiles on the walls. And the fireplace, of course, is a little bit aged. And I painted the marble for the floors, and actually painted that 3 times because it wasn't what we wanted. So I think it looks really nice. And the windows are leaded, but it's actually it's painted on and then fired in the oven, in the kiln, I mean. Yeah, we call that an oven as well. But it's kiln fired on there, so you cannot remove it. It's almost etched in, baked, fired into the glass. So, yeah, of course, they'll open. And this time I used real glass, which was tricky because of the weight. And all of them open. And these two, I'm not going to take it out, but this middle window is attached by means of magnets, so you can just pull it off, just pull the handle and it comes out. And I had to do that because it was going to be a very large window, and I don't think the hinges would have been able to, yeah, I would have had to have much bigger hinges, and I think it would have been too heavy. But again, I think it's a rather wonderful room. And with just a few pieces of furniture, it kind of comes to life. It really looks wonderful. And then through here, and of course I have my hardware on here. I made everything myself. I really quite like it. Through here is the cooking kitchen, and this is the working part of the kitchen. And again, some of my own pieces in here. And you've probably seen that in my previous videos. I made the faucets and the pump and hardware on the doors. Of course, all the doors open. And there's room for, I don't know, pieces in there. And in the back, there's the big hearth with the where the fire would have been, where the real cooking is done. And again, beams on the ceiling. And these beams, they have a little bit of a decoration, but they're slightly more simple than the ones in the more fancy kitchen. So the beams look a little bit more fancy here. And there's a huge kitchen cabinet there with room for whatever, porcelain or silver or, and what else? The marble again is painted, and that door in the back opens as well. And the idea is that we'll have the door ajar and then have a little bit of light behind it. So there's a bit of light coming through. You can already see the light coming. It's a little bit ajar already. Well, that's the finished rooms. I really hope you like them. I really like them. I'm very pleased with them. And like I said, this is some of my own pieces in here just to give it a bit of life. But we'll have antique silver pieces in there. And I don't know if I told you this, but the cabinet I made, that one, that is the miniature version of the full-sized one where these room boxes are going to be living. So the full-size version, this cabinet, will have these rooms. So this room where I'm at here will be over here. And The next door will be here, and the kitchens will be down there in the big one, in the big cabinet. So they were made to fit that cabinet. So there's a miniature version going to be. And for the Dutch among us, that's called the Droste effect. You know, when there's a smaller one, and it would be great to have a 144th scale cabinet like that in there as well. But yeah, that's not something I do. So, but it would be fantastic, I think. Just a quick edit. I was taking out the cabinet, and I was taking out all of the silver as well, so I could show the cabinet to you better. And it was a bit dark, so I turned on the light, and you can tell that it is nighttime when I filmed this, and the other video was filmed during the daytime. So there's a difference in color. You can always tell it's much warmer. Even though the light is brighter, the wood looks much warmer in color. But I put the cabinet back at an angle, and I really like it there. I think you can see it much better. The curves of the top are much nicer. You can see the bottom and the legs much better. I really like that, and it somehow it looks good. I think it also, in the other rooms, I also put the furniture at an angle, and not sure why I did that. It just looked better. It was a bit straight, otherwise a bit boring. But yeah, yeah. So I just put back some of the pieces in there, and I didn't put that much in there to begin with because, well, you know, there's a lot coming from my other dolls' houses, and it's making a bit of a mess in there. But if this was my own cabinet, well, it is at the moment, but it won't be for long. It's not staying with me. Then I would probably have this room as a study, and I would have these drawers open, and it's hard to do that with your fingers, so I'm using tweezers for that to pull the drawers open. But I would probably have that filled with books and paperwork and have papers spilling out of the drawers, something like that. I think that would be really nice. So, but yet another way to display this, you know, at an angle. You don't often think about that, but yeah, I like that. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. I have to sit down. Until next time.